much always active.
Yeah.
Uh, so the main chat here is pretty active. The game's general chat, uh, and definitely the Vault chats
Right,
are
for sure.
pretty active.
Yeah, for sure. So the games chat, is that for Slan and all the cogs related stuff? People are going in there to
Yes.
chat about all
Yep.
that. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Have to
Yep.
have a good run through that for sure. I think Deviates, he should pop in any second. We just got off a call, so he should be here, not too far away. Yeah. So is this it for you after this for the night, Phil? You signing off Friday night?
Uh, I will probably hang out a bit in
Yeah,
the DGen chat with the rest of the guys for a while.
with the DJs.
Yeah. Yep. Talking
Yeah,
about all the other projects they're into.
yeah, yeah. Well, you're okay. You're a couple of hours behind me as well, so you got a bit more time up your sleeve. David's an hour ahead of me. He's I'm in Queensland. He's down in Melbourne, so Melbourne's an hour ahead. So
Oh,
um,
I thought you guys were the the same time zone as us. Oh,
It's a bit different. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
it's almost 11 p.m. here for me, and it's almost knocking on midnight for Melbourne.
Got
Um,
it. Got it.
which is all right. We've been doing pretty late hours because we're on really obscure time zone compared to the rest of the world, and our Discord kind of like starts firing up around this time, and that's when everyone that we're working with comes online because they're all on the other side of the planet. So we're kind of accustomed to being up
Oh,
this
I
late
see.
anyway. But yeah, we're rinsed, man. We've had a huge week. Like I'm exhausted. I'm ready for bed. Like keen to be here for this. But I'll be doing a few quick things after this, and then calling it for the night. I think.
Yeah,
Been
yeah.
a been a
I hear
big
you, man.
week.
I
Yeah.
mean, like, if you're in this space, th- you have no choice, right?
Oh
Because
yeah,
you always
100%. You just go at it.
it moves so quickly, and you always have to keep up.
Yep.
Um, and there's always shit to do. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like
I've renamed my to do list the infinity list when I started this project because it's
mm,
quick as you to knock things off the list. New things just keep slamming back on the top. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
there's always something there. Oh man, like much rather be doing this like flat out hustle. You just go at it as hard as you can. But I'd much rather be doing that than kind of what I have been doing, like my regular business I was running. I don't mind it, but wasn't incredibly passionate about it. It keeps you on your toes, keeps you agile. So much more
Yeah.
exciting space to be working in. That's for sure.
I mean, that's the great thing about this space, right? It's given many people the opportunity to kind of do their own thing
Yep.
and you know think about quitting their 9 to 5.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. I'll just send out a reminder on our Discord, just let everyone know that we're kicking off soon.
Although that 9 to 5 becomes like 8 to 11.
Yeah, doesn't it? I can't. Doesn't it? It kind of suits me a little bit better though, to be honest. Like I've always been a bit of a night owl. Like being a creative person, I just seem to naturally gravitate towards late hours and a bit more of a sleeping in the morning. Um, so I kind of, I don't mind it. We're
And
working at night.
it's also different when you're working on your own thing, right?
Mm.
You're much more energized about it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But although that being said, my current gig is I run my own business. I've been doing it since 2015, just architectural visualization, 3D rendering, stuff like that. That was pretty
Mm.
exciting getting that off the ground, but it was a completely different space. So dealing with architects and property developers and all that type of thing, and it was all very 9 to 5 focused. Obviously doing it locally,
Yeah,
um, but yeah, no, I think I'd rather be doing this. As crazy as the space is. It's awesome.
yeah. So you said Luke will be joining us as well?
Yeah. He should be in. He was just taking just a quick break, step outside, get some fresh air. 'Cause he's had a big day as well. Before he comes in, so I imagine I'll just ping him a message now. Uh, just chatting, just let him know. So Benny's had the day off.
Yeah, it's his wife's birthday.
Ah, sweet, cool.
So I'm not sure if he'll be joining us tonight.
I think was it Luke, his brother?
Yep.
Yeah, Luke. I think Luke said in the Fireside update that he'd be introducing the coming in for the AMA this morning, from what I caught. So
Cool.
yeah, which is cool. It's cool that
I
they're
mean, I
doing it.
think,
Like, brothers are doing it. Like, there's no way I think operating a business with my brother. That would not work well. So it's cool they've got a good relationship
yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, I would have said that many years ago that I wouldn't want to work with my brother, but I think as we've gotten older,
Yes, yeah, that
I
helps.
think I definitely could now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, I think it's both maturing a little bit. Mostly on his side, I'd say. But
Yeah, yeah. No, for me, it's the opposite, right?
right, yeah, right. I don't know. I don't know where he is. I
You
just pinged him a
got me there?
message. Oh yeah, there he is. Oh,
Yeah.
you in? Oh, you are. Oh, you snuck in. I didn't see you in there.
Yeah.
Sabenya. Welcome to RFOX AMA.
DJs are rolling in.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, is
We'll give
Fads
it a
in
couple
here,
more
or is
minutes.
he? Is Fads in, or is he off tonight?
Fud,
No, not
he's
yet.
not in here
Well,
yet.
there's no better way to welcome the new guys than mention to them about the first 25 cogs.
No.
I mean, if anyone,
Oh, God.
no.
Ban.
Mute him.
It's inside joke.
Can you
Uh,
please? I'll send you the phrase, Crunchy, but can you please have this in your server that if it ever gets typed in, that person's automatically banned?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'll send it to you.
All right.
Nice to
That's
officially
That's
hear you,
interesting.
by the way.
I
I've been
want the
talking
backstory to
you.
that, though. Yeah.
no,
Don't.
it's not an
No,
inside
you
joke.
don't.
It's too outside. We're trying to put it back in.
Yeah. Right.
Fads
Cool.
is in
I've
the
never
house.
actually been called Crunchy before. That's interesting. That's the first time I've been called Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Yeah.
Crunchy.
Thank you.
Oh, crunky.
Crunchy. That's funny.
Oh, this is great being here, guys. We've been really looking forward to this for quite a while now. So
Yeah. Well, we're both David and I are both RFOX holders from, I think, like 2018. We got in. Like we caught it off Alex. I think it was sometime around 18. Maybe we got in, and I think I'm into the second edition cogs when they came out. Still got them. We have been following RFOX for a while, so it's pretty cool to be coming in and
You
doing
guys Aussies?
Yeah. I'm southeast Queensland, and Davey it's
Nice.
down Melbourne way.
From the
Didn't you know the
Netherlands.
entire cryptosphere and NFT sphere is basically founded on Aussie? They're everywhere.
Yeah. It seems like. We'll just give it a few more minutes to let more people in before we
Yeah,
start.
sure.
Yeah.
I might just
Yeah.
crank my screen up just to make sure that's all good. Get that ready. Can everyone see my screen?
Ooh, yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can.
Yeah.
All right. So we got visuals today, guys.
Yeah,
Yes, Alpha Leaks enabled.
Yes, it's nothing like blockbuster. We're just trying to get a bit of a slideshow just to kind of help paint a picture of what we're doing. So don't expect any like kind of crazy animation stuff.
That render looks amazing.
Yeah, the artwork it's all come up really well.
The hair is flipping good.
Yeah, or Natrix is the plugin that kind of enables that kind of hair generation.
You still got to drive it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. The artist is Neo. We'll talk a little bit about him. He's a bit of a gun. He was good. He was a good find. I've scoured the internet for a long time trying to find the right artist, and then when I found Neo, he had a render of Donald Trump, which was like a hilarious render, but like really captured his character. And I was just like, yeah, that's it. That's the direction we want to go. And then we kind of wrestled a little bit about trying to find the right style for it, backwards and forwards, and then we kind of landed on this. It's the base model male. It's just that jawline really that caught it. We spent a bit of time kind of nailing the jawline and the chin and the cheekbones, which kind of really kind of set his attitude. And
so appropriate. It matches that whole pixel art in a way. It's like when I saw your interpretation of pixel to 3D, it was such an incredible transition. It was like I could see the pixel in the 3D, in the 3D, in the pixel. Like the relationship is excellent. Like
yeah, cheers, because we worked pretty hard to carry that across. Because obviously that's what it's about, carrying the characters across into the new form. So we spent a fair bit trying to kind of just get that right. So yeah, no, I appreciate that.
You know, I think there's, you know, before Gecko takes up the whole show, let's start, I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah, just get into it. Cool, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
sweet. Awesome. Well, yeah, cheers for coming in.
Guys, welcome to tonight's AMA. We've obviously got a very special guest tonight. Just so you guys are aware, there are visuals tonight, so please click on the live icon in Gypto Crunky's next to his name, so you can see what he's laying down tonight. So yeah, let's get started. So welcome, Gypto and Luke. These guys are from Crypt3D Punks, and you know, can you guys introduce your company and how you guys get started?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah, so we're Cryptid Punks. We're based at Cryptid Punks. We're pretty much like Crypto Punks remastered. We basically, who are the Cryptid Punks? A little bit of an elevator pitch, but it really wraps up what we're doing. Cryptid Punks are a collection of all 10,000 of the original Crypto Punks, and they've been remastered one for one. So each of the 10,000 Crypto Punks have been remastered in 3D, 4K NFTs, and we're minting on Ethereum. Your CryptidPunk NFT essentially enables the minting of your CryptidPunk 3D avatar. So with your CryptidPunk NFT, you'll be able to teleport between metaverses as your avatar from one of essentially the most recognized and culturally significant NFT projects in crypto history. That's pretty much what we're doing. Who are we? Like, we're just like a small team of like passionate kind of NFT enthusiasts. There's a handful of us. I'll just roll through and introduce us quickly now. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm Gypto. My background is mixed kind of academic and professional background. I have like an advanced diploma in multimedia gaming stream, which is essentially video game development from Victoria University in 2008. Advanced Diploma of Project Management from Chisholm Institute of TAFEs, Certificate of Small Business Management from Chisholm, Advanced Diploma of Graphic Design, which was under a full scholarship to Florida University, Certificate in Living Philosophy, and a Bachelor degree of Industrial Design through RMIT, which I'm currently halfway through. Professionally, just a whole bunch of graphic design, industrial design, product design, service design, and self-employed casually since 2012, full-time running a proprietary limited here in Australia since 2015, running a 3D rendering studio for architectural visualizations and servicing architects and property developers and things like that. Been in crypto since 2017, pretty wild ride, learned some harsh lessons, and that's kind of where we're at the moment.
Yeah, you're in good company here, man.
Yeah. Just a little bit on me. I had an early background with an apprenticeship when I was younger. Came through that, managed a few retail sort of environments. Made my way down to Melbourne, early 2000s, pursuing a DJ career, and sort of kicked things off around 96 there, which led me again into a bit more sort of retail in some record stores down here. From there, when the party sort of slowed down and I needed to stop, I decided I'd go into some business ventures, and have currently just stepped out of a business that I was running for about 17 years. Met Gypto around 2017 when we hit the crypto space, and we've just had a pretty sort of wild ride, lots of good experiences. Feel that we've got a bit better of an understanding on how things are moving and working. And not too long ago, we sort of came around to getting together, and here we are right now, Cryptid Punks.
Sweet. Our Neo, he's a 26-year-old dude from Mexico. He's like myself, an industrial design student. He's done some product design, jewelry design, stuff like that. That really started gravitating towards 3D artistry. He's done some. Go to his Instagram, check out his work. I can drop it in the chat. He's got some really cool work there to see his like portfolio of he's really good with characters and that. He's just recently done some work for Spotify in Colombia, I think that it was. But I'll share his link in the chat. Our dev is Brains. He's US based out of LA. I think he used to run like a visual effects company, but he's recently where he did more of the coding side of the visual effects. But recently he's been focusing on Ethereum, Solana, and Immutable X, specialized within React, Rust, Node.js, and Python. You can see like the list of projects that he's successfully minted. So like, we're in good hands with Brains, and a lot of people are asking us about security and hacking and all of that. And I've had some pretty extensive chats with Brains about security and all of that thing, and the man knows what he's doing. So like we feel like we're in good hands with Brains. New addition to the team is Loud Gods. He's a voxel artist, and we'll talk about why that's relevant. In a little bit. So yeah, a little bit kind of like about where we are, how we got here. We've been in the space 2017. We kind of like we've been itching. I've personally been itching to start a crypto-based project since I got into crypto. Came close a couple of times, but it wasn't quite right. We were a little bit late to NFTs. We only got into NFTs like late last year. And David and I both minted a derivative punk project, which is basically just a straight copy of the CryptoPunks, but on a different blockchain. And we were like right into it. Like, it was really exciting. We've like started looking at punks, really like them, and then obviously the whole pixelated thing. It's like it's cool style, but it's not much there. And we basically had kind of like the light bulb moment with my 3D rendering background to like let's see if we could. Really, they all have like really cool character about them and 10,000 different wacky zany punks, but like maybe we could really bring that to life with more detail. And that's kind of how we got into the idea of making the encrypted punks. Where we are is we've got the 10,000 punks pretty much ready to go. We're just doing like the final touches on them. We're not actually downloading the files from our generation guy at the moment. There's 150 gig worth of files. I'm halfway through downloading. They're pretty much ready to go. We're actually going to roll through and check all 10,000 of them one by one individually to make sure there's no issues. That's the next big task on the list. We have confirmation from our legal team. Like we went through a bit of a process end of last year. Actually put the project on pause while we got clarification with our legal team to confirm that we didn't have any like legal issues or IP infringement issues around Lava Labs and everything that's going there. And we've been assured that that's okay. And that's
Look, just so you know, guys, Gypto lives up in Queensland, north of Australia. Those guys got hammered with a pretty heavy storm there. Maybe, might have been coming on a week.
Right
and they had some lightning strikes that took out and fried a lot of the modems and the big sort of, I don't know, server modems in their area. So he's been working off.
Oh man.
He's just been tethering off his phone. So he may just have crunched a bit of bandwidth there, and he might have just stalled. So maybe we can just give him a minute, and
yeah, sure.
I'm sure he'll find his way back.
I mean, if you want, you can send me the presentation, and I can stream it for him. I'm assuming that's taking a bunch of his bandwidth. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I've got a network connection issue at the moment. Where did you lose me?
That's a good question. We've just
you were talking about the
legal
non-infringement
compliance.
on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we're basically all good on the legal front. We've got our community, about 5,500 members, organic. It's a really good community going on. We have basically a strategy to engage the community as we continue to build the punks once we get past mint. And we're just basically ready to go. Like we're super pumped. A little bit about Phil asked us to possibly talk about just a bit more about the design work for those that are interested in the techie side. All the punks were designed in Cinema 4D. This is Neo's work. I've just got the working files. We used the plugin Ornatrix, which handled all the hair. So I actually don't have that plugin, but that's what helped create all the hair detail. The designs themselves, they're all in 4K. So the detail's pretty solid on all of them. So that's that Ornatrix plugin helping with all the hair detail there, and then obviously Theo's modeling with his texture. Each punk is 4K, so it's big files, plenty of detail.
I mean,
And
what made you decide to go into that level of detail? It's
just because
crazy.
it's because of the exact opposite of what the punks were. Like, let's just take it to the opposite end of the spectrum. Basically, they'll pixelated.
Interesting.
Let's just go the full distance, and obviously, like, because you just can, like, you can do it. So why not do it? Like, if you're going to do something, why not do it as good as you can possibly do it?
Sure.
So yeah, that a little bit about the designs. Also, the designs. It's a question people sometimes get a little bit confused, but we're not randomly generating the attributes for the punks. Like, we've remade the 10,000 crypto punks as they were with their equal attributes across the whole 10,000. So there's not like a random generation set. For punk, 9280 from the original punks, that's our version. It has all the same attribute data, which is a key point. Just on that note, there's plenty of information on the website, cryptopunks.io. There's heaps of information there about what we're doing and examples of the work, information on the team. Everything's there. I'll come back to the presentation. Pretty much get onto roadmap and utility. Once we get past the mint, obviously the punks at this point are only heads, and if we're going to be taking the punks into the metaverse, we're going to need bodies. So we have a really talented character concept artist, local guy in Australia here. He's actually over in Perth, just moved from Melbourne. He's basically going to be working with the community and the community DAO, so the community can help us vote on what fashion items or wearables the punks are going to be wearing in the metaverse. So that'll be like a community effort to decide what the fashion is. And while he does that through this illustrative process, he will also be creating a comic book stories that follows or illustrates the punks' backstory and lore as they jump through the metaverses and all that type of thing.
Is there any plans for other media, like a webtoon or something?
Yeah, they can totally be. Like, we're pretty open. Like, we want to do as much as we can. Obviously, the main focus for us would be obviously kind of the process of getting into the metaverses. This is the supporting stuff to go with it. But we're really open to kind of what the community wants us to do, and that's a large part of why we have the DAO in there, is because we really kind of want this. I've said it in previous AMAs. But we basically will take direction from the community through the DAO about like kind of some creative direction. Still needs to occur within like a framework that we provide. So at the end of the day, we're running a business and we need to provide a sustainable model and a framework to operate in. So as long as the creative direction from the community can operate within the bounds of that framework, we're going to let the community kind of steer it and see how we can best manage to get the community consensus on exactly what we do. That kind of next kind of step after the mint is kind of like working out the fashion. There, our first stop is heading into the sandbox. We're currently talking to sandbox at the moment about the process of getting the 10,000 punks in there. So how it kind of works is if you want to mint a CryptoPunk in Sandbox, you'll need the CryptoPunk NFTs, PFPs. So the PFPs essentially will become your passport or your entrance into making that version of that punk in whichever metaverse that you want to go into. First off is Sandbox, and there's a bit of a backstory with the punks about how they were these pixelated punks, but they wanted to be more, and then they burst through this kind of minting portal that we're about to go through, and they've come into this 4K 3D version of themselves, and they really like it, and they like the 3D form, but they still feel a bit restricted in just a 2D image. So they really, now the next step is they want to become 3D and be able to run around, and they'll burst through the next minting portal, which will be into Sandbox. But when they get to Sandbox, it's cool that they can run around, but they didn't quite get it right because now they're blocky, pixelated themselves. So the next thing they want to do is they want to escape Sandbox, and what we'll be doing is building up with minting funds, purchasing land in Sandbox, and starting to build up a game. And there'll be a story that occurs around that about trying to escape Sandbox and going into the next metaverse, which they land in, which will be the Central Land, which is open source. We can walk straight into that. here, story kind of continues. They've increased in quality a bit. They're not pixelated anymore, but they've still got that kind of cartoony, Decentraland style to them. Similar situation. We'll purchase land there, move on, escape that. The quest continues to keep moving to increase their quality, and their third stop at this stage is RFOX Valt, where obviously the quality increases again, and they just achieve that better expression of themselves.
All
Now,
right,
sorry, did
RFOX.
you want...
I'm just saying it's awesome that RFOX Vault kind of like completes the trilogy.
Yeah, for sure. And like, what an amazing place for them to end up. Such a fitting place with the futuristic theme and everything of it for the punks. It's going to be really cool. And just cool to see how they look when they get in there, which is really exciting. So that's like a bit about like the utility for us on our side for the actual original CryptoPunk NFT PFPs is the ability to use them as passports to kind of hop between these different metaverses. And just on that note, we will, it's not just necessarily just stopping there. Like the space is going to keep expanding. We don't know what metaverses are going to pop up in the future, so we'll remain agile to that, and we'll look to continue to expand. But that, at the moment, that's our somewhat like short to medium term roadmap is getting these done. That gives pretty good utility. It gives us opportunities to build out spaces in each of, particularly Sandbox and Decentraland, and get some stuff happening in there. Involve the DAO about what that actually looks like, the games in the space, and take that creative process from there. The additional utility on the RFOX end is obviously being able to, as you see on the screen, is to be able to mint your CryptidPunks cogs through the KML. And obviously all utility that's incorporated with that, which I'm sure you guys are all pretty well versed in. So I won't go too much into that because we're trying to keep on top of the time. But also we're in discussion with Benny and Phil and Fads and Chino about the process of, in order to get your CryptoPunks into the RFOX Vault, it may be something along the lines of the process of minting your CryptoPunks cogs and then burning those cogs to get your avatar into the space, into the vault, and potentially like burning more cogs to get your wearables and different fashion items and things like that. The specifics on that aren't nailed down or anything at this point, but the discussion is underway, and we're going to evolve that around that. In terms of estimate, and obviously like the continuation of exploration into different metaverses after that as a longer term roadmap. And basically our targeted mint dates at this point, targeted 100%, but this is what we're targeting at the moment. Whitelist pre-sale 7th of March, public mint 10th of March. That's pretty much my presentation. I hope I kind of got through that in enough time.
That covered just about everything that we set out for.
Cool. Awesome.
So we've worked out with these guys. They've graciously given us 1,000 whitelist spots for certain cog holders and even tube holders. So we'll be giving those details out very shortly, since the mint date is coming up very soon. So you can expect, details about that to come out on Monday, and then we will take a snapshot very shortly afterwards. So at this point, let's go to a Q&A. You guys got any questions for these guys? You can drop it in the main chat or yell it out. Go for it, man.
You said DAO, is that one punk, one vote? How does the DAO work?
You there, Gypto?
Gypto, the question was how is the DAO going to work? Is it by punk?
Yeah.
Like the more you hold, the more
I'm not sure if
you have, or
still with us there, but I can grab that one. Look, with any DAO, I think we're going to have discussions around that, but I think for ethical sort of voting structure, you'd have to say that even one wallet holding multiple should still only equate to one vote. I think with DAOs, it gets a bit tricky if depending on people can sort of mint through different wallets and accumulate, and then they can shift everything to one wallet. And if someone had an advantage of being able to have a vote per NFT in that wallet, and let's say they just had 20, I think that wouldn't be, in my opinion, I just don't think that that's ethical. So if we were going to structure a scenario around that, I would just say, yeah, like most DAOs, it doesn't matter how many you have in your wallet, you just still you do get the one vote per wallet.
Yeah.
We got another question from one of our members. Do you guys already decided the cost?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're back.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, do you want to take that, David?
Yeah, we were looking at around 0.07 ETH as a starting point. We are doing the whitelist pre-sale, so we probably will have a bit of a discount on the mint price for that. However, the market's sort of pretty swingy at the moment, so we just want to have that as a benchmark, and then as we get a little bit closer, we can just reassess it, because ultimately, at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we can bring in enough money just to be sustainable. We are looking at this as a business operation, and like any business, we've got to make sure that we can forecast, project our roadmaps, and it's not like 2 months or 3 months. We want to look at it as in years. So we're going for the sort of longer approach, and just to manage the funds that come in. We want to make sure that we can allocate everything so that we can do things properly and be sustainable, really. Yeah.
Sure. Someone needs Choina needs clarification. Said, I thought I heard you say you need to own the original CryptoPunk to be able to mint the corresponding cryptid punk. Is that accurate?
I saw that in the chat. No, that's not accurate. Otherwise, we'd be limiting ourselves to those crazy people holding very expensive CryptoPunks. No, anyone can come in and just mint a cryptid punk. But if you want to say you got this minted this guy here, we call this guy Jick. He's our flagship guy. So you minted Jick. It's random minting as well. Like you just kind of come and mint, and you'll get randomly assigned a punk. So you get this PFP, and then you want to have him in the RFOX vault. That particular punk, you'll need this PFP in order to get him into the vault. That's how I was referring to that.
So a follow-up to that is, if you own the original CryptoPunk, do you get a preference? Or I guess, can you get, if you already own one, can you get the one you own?
Yeah, so we've had a few people kind of approach us about that. We've had people rolling into the Discord saying, I want this punk. And we don't necessarily think it's fair for people to be cherry picking. And people have told us, like behind the scenes, like, oh, you guys should grab Danny's seed phrase, and like, no, that's not fair. I think it's a mint. It's like all NFT projects. It's fairest for everyone if you come in and you randomly generate and you get what you get in the rarity scale. So
Right.
come in and have a shot and get what you want, and then if there's one you specifically want from the market, you're going to chase it, which creates opportunity for the people who minted that one, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be really interesting to see how that secondary market works.
Also, really interesting as well. We got a little bit of a unique opportunity with that, with the minting, that the rarity system for this already exists. All of our punks, the rarity's already out there immediately. Rarity.tools.
Right.
So that's another kind of unique element.
Do you guys have any collaboration with the original punk project, CryptoPunk project?
No, we actually don't. And we have, as part of our legal discussions with our legal team, we were advised to just make it very clear to people that we're not actually like Lava Labs. There's a legal grey area if we kind of misconstrued that minting a cryptid punk, you're minting a Lava Labs product or like a part of the CryptoPunk collection. And we're not. We're just a completely separate project. We're a homage derivative project, and we're not necessarily to say that might not happen in the future. I'd imagine that, and to be honest, we haven't really approached them. I'm sure that they just get absolutely bombarded with punk projects asking for collaborations, and I haven't seen one. I just don't know how open they are to it, but we could always, if the community wants us to kind of approach them with a formal proposal, we'll do it.
From
A quick
everyone
question, extension of
Yeah.
the question that Phil just asked. Would there be a chance or where Lava Lab comes around and says, "Hey, this is a derivative project for our CryptoPunks," and then pull it down?
Yeah, so this is the process we went through with our legal team, and the issue with because we've been watching Lava Labs and the DMCA, like Digital Media Copyright Act takedowns on derivative projects, and a lot of them, the successful ones, on the projects that basically is almost straight copy their artwork. Like you see, like there was, I think I saw one. There was Crypto Funks, which they just mirror flipped.
Yeah, the flip one.
Yes. There was like slightly tilted punks, which is why that's hilarious. It's not obviously too much of an alteration from the original artwork. With copyright visual stuff in general, there's kind of a really weird grey area between like you have to change the artwork 20 to 30%. What that actually means is really grey. What's really clear is that our artwork and their artwork is not the same artwork. Like our artwork couldn't be more further from their artwork in terms of all the derivative punk projects that are out there. So we've been given the solid green light from our legal team. My actual concern was not the art. I was like, what's the go with us using the attribute set? And they actually informed us. They did some really good digging around, and they said that they actually gave us the all clear on that as well, and said, well, we were all good. We actually took it one step further, and we've actually renamed all of the attributes. So where the original CryptoPunk attribute may have been luxurious beard, as is luxurious style beard, or just like a slight adjustment to it. So we haven't actually technically used their attribute set because we're actually using technically black and white different attributes, even though the description is indicative of the original attributes. They said we didn't do that, but I just felt more comfortable just doing that as another layer of protection again. And then, as I was just referencing before, as long as we're clear and no one misconstrues the information or the messaging that this is part of one of a Lava Labs project or a CryptoPunks collection, we've been assured by our legal team, who's top shelf, well-versed cryptocurrency law team, that we're all good.
Yeah.
So I guess related to that, so I know you guys aren't really afraid of Larva Labs, but are you guys concerned at all with the OG CryptoPunk community?
Not necessarily. I don't think I am particularly concerned. Are you, Deviant? Any concerns?
I don't feel any. I don't feel there'd be any concerns. I mean, obviously, you've got a pretty big OG punks community, and as human beings, we're all individual and different, and some people might align in some sort of ways with their community in that space, and that might be perhaps outwards towards, you could imagine if you were an OG project and then you just had a whole heap of people coming and straight up copying. Like, I think that's pretty in your face. For us, like Gypto said, we've done everything to be organic and original, but also wanted to leverage off that off the OGs. But having said that, I think there'll be, once we actually get through Mint and we get more exposure to those types of celebrities and people that are holding, there'll definitely be some that'll come across and embrace it, and I'm sure there'll be some that'll be a little bit, themselves about it. And that's just life. I think we'll just take that with, however it comes to us. But I definitely, we definitely will be putting ourselves out there to, bring a little bit of hype around our project with the, with them being a derivative, and I'm hoping that'll give us a little bit of presence, and it'll also bring in some some fresh people into the project to, you know, be exciting to get some of those punk holders wanting to hunt down, you know, their 3D avatar one. You know, I mean, if you were someone that was holding a few of the better end ones, and there's some celebs out there that had to have them at some point, like it could be, you know, you could do quite well out of it. So there's just
for sure.
I'll just really quickly, since we started this project, we've actually seen a couple of other like 3D punk projects pop up. I think one actually happened before ours, but I didn't see. I looked around before I started this and didn't find any of that one. But I think that guy did like minted like 100 of them, like, and handmade the 100 of them, and they were quite low detail in the styling of it, like kind of like Lego style. And there's another project that popped up that they've done a similar thing, but I think they've minted I'm not quite sure, maybe 1,000. Don't quote me on. They haven't done the full set, but they're in a very different style. Personally, I much prefer our style. But the point being why I bring it up is I haven't really seen any really negative backlash from OG punk holders about that, because we've obviously been watching it. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, we actually have a holder in here who's saying that he's pretty excited about the.
Oh yeah, wow.
Project.
Oh cool. I'd love to know who that is and what punk he's holding.
It's Choina here in the chat.
Oh sweet, yeah, cool.
6185.
6185.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I'll look that up. Well, when I get off the call, I'll look that up and have a squizzy at what our version of that looks like. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, cool.
So in reference to 6185, right?
Yep.
So 6185, you know, on the original punk has certain attributes, right?
Sure.
This type of hair, this type of thing. Would this new one still have the same ID 1685 with the same attributes, or would the ID be different?
No, exact same ID, exact same attributes, but all just in 3D 4K.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you mint, then when you say the ID is randomized, that means the ID is generated on the fly when you mint.
Yeah, so we've got the database.
Sequential minting, right?
No, not sequential, because that was a concern about people trying to snipe particular high rarity ones if we put them out in a sequential order. So we've randomized the order. Yeah.
Okay, so you randomize the order, but the ID still match the original one.
Yes, yeah. The IDs and the attributes for each punk are exactly the same as the originals, but the order that they come out in the minting process has been randomized.
Okay. So the ID of the NFT will not be the ID of the punk name, right?
No, it will be. So 6185 may come out as the very first punk out of the mints, but its ID will be 6185.
Yeah.
Okay, so even the NFT ID will be 6185, matching the name.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
It's just the sequence of the minting, right?
Correct.
Are you trying to make some kind of bot here? Because it sounds like you're gathering very specific information.
No. The reason why I'm asking is because there are projects out there which tried to do randomized minting, just like what they're doing, and they messed it up. I've been one of them. I participated in one of them where the random minter does not recognize the IDs that have already been minted, and when you try to mint when they randomize it, so example, you know, if the 100th ID has already been minted, and the randomizer rolls 100, the transaction bombs out, and then you just end up paying gas for fun. I just want to make sure that that's well factored into this, because that's a big problem in the case where you want to randomize the IDs.
Hey, Gypto, is Brain in here to answer that?
Man, but I think we're in good hands. Like, the guy's right on top of it. I've had some pretty good conversations with him about how I want it to roll out, and I have full confidence with him. There's going to be no issues.
Yeah, no, we got that covered for sure. It's just the way that it gets set up, and they're definitely, when they're randomly thrown out, there won't be any numbers that come up twice, so that there's any confusion there. Once it's been called, it'll. Yeah.
I understand the concern that you it like that, but I actually know, because I worked with Brains on the way that we've set up the randomizing, and I can say that's not going to happen. I don't want to talk about how we've done it, because I don't.
No, you don't have to talk about how we've done it. Just that, you know. I was just interested to know, you know, if the ID the NFT IDs, right?
Yep.
Match the names, because you could have easily done where the names do not match the IDs, and then in that case the mint will still be sequential from mint number starts with mint number 0 all the way to 9999, right?
I wish Brian was here because I'm sure he'll give you like a really specific answer about
But
that.
no worries. I mean, as long as you're taken care of that, because that was
sure.
one of projects that I took part of. I mean, as an end user, right, it was bloody frustrating.
Yep.
Because as you get to the end, when there's only like 10 left, and you're hitting mint, and the randomizer keeps pulling out all the IDs that has been minted, and you're like, what the hell? And how are you going to get the remaining 10, right?
Yep.
Of course, at the beginning, when there's a lot, you can pull out. So I just want to make sure that there's a process of elimination that doesn't try to mint the same ID.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, all good. Yeah, sure. Good point though. Yeah, definitely.
Are there any more questions from the community?
Would you guys ever consider something like potions or serums or stuff like that? Or is that very complicated when you're dealing with 3D?
Sorry, say that your potions and serums?
Yeah.
Or like what? Those bored apes, mutant apes?
Oh, right. Yep.
To be
Just
honest,
curious, or would you rather go with fixed assets like fashion items and things like that?
At the moment, the focus is definitely on the fashion items and getting them into the metaverse. That's the priority, and that's the focus. But that's going to take us however long it takes us to do it. And we're looking at pushing this thing. Basically, this isn't a short-term thing we're looking at doing here. So, like, where we end up going, and like I was saying before, that we are going to really take on DAO consideration for where we go with it, as long as it kind of works within a sustainable framework. And if that's we really want to focus on the wearables and in the metaverse. But once we kind of get through that and we build out some metaverse levels and that, and the community is if the community expresses enough interest that they collectively, want to go in a direction like that, then we'll entertain it. I think for sure.
Oh, we got a question here on the time of your mint. Apparently, some people are sick of 3 a.m. mints.
Yeah, and fair enough. Like we're more than familiar with that, over in Australia, and we were originally talking about doing a whitelist, like a 12 or 20 hour whitelist, because we wanted to just let everyone have the opportunity to not have to get up at 3 a.m. I think that's still kind of on the cards. So it was going to be like a 24-hour whitelist thing, close it, and then open up the public. So yeah, we're kind of conscious of that, and also there was more justification for that as a method to mitigate like any kind of gas fees.
Sure.
But Brains is actually he's written this on an 1155 contract. It's like a super lightweight contract, and he was running tests on the mint contract that he's written a while back, and he was minting at $20 per mint and $30 per batch mint. That's when ETH was up at like 3.5 or something like that. I know he has added a little bit of additional functionality into it. One of them was the discounted rate on whitelist, and just the more functionality you add to a contract, the more the gas goes up. It's like super sensitive to it. But he is super conscious of keeping the gas down. So I don't think it's going to be like a hectic gas fee, but that was another reason for us to have like a big whitelist, a big minting open window.
And how many punks will a whitelister be able to mint?
So it's two per whitelist basically, and then on public we're allowing. I think we set it on 10 per public mint, which was just two on whitelist is just a good method to be able to kind of allow us to distribute the whitelist across kind of like as many hands as we can to try and diversify as best as we can for the holders.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a great response from this community.
That'd be great. I mean, like I was actually going to say earlier, we're kind of happy to give this community 1,000 whitelists because we've been following RFOX for years now. It's a good community. We've been watching the community. We're quite picky actually about it because we've got a really good community going on over in our Discord that's been organically grown, and we just want to keep that good positive energy going on over at our our server, and we've kind of seen a lot of that over here. So we're happy to have a big allocation for you guys for sure.
Yeah, if you guys could drop the link to your Discord in the main chat, that would be great.
Oh yeah, sure.
So
I'll do
that
that
people
right
can
now.
find you easily.
Yeah, Discord.gg. That should be it. I'll do that right now.
Yeah,
That's
excited to get a bit of a mix between the
cheers.
two servers. Everyone, community is probably one of our strengths, and that's what, like Tipto was saying, the attraction to the RFOX community is just that, you know, RFOX has been around for 4 odd years now, and I know there's probably OGs who have a better understanding of markets and how things move. And this is the thing, you know, we're looking for the long approach on this project. It's not a pop up and sort of flip type job. You know, we're pretty feature rich with our roadmaps and everything that we sort of want to roll out. And as you know, you can't make promises on things, but I think that probably the best thing would be to do is just invest some time with us. We can probably do a few more sort of chats like this, just a bit more casual. And tonight was sort of more just giving a look at what we're doing and who we are.
Hey, Pete, can you?
That's a
Got
killer
him.
ringtone.
Got him. Don't worry. Got him.
Okay.
Got the disco happening in the background there. Feel free to pop over, and we've got a great team of mods there. We've got a great community manager, and we've got people on rotation. We've been building the Discord for probably longer than most people or projects do, but we did want to take the approach to start up and really just let people come in and have a look at what we're doing, and if they were comfortable with us and our direction, then surely they're going to hang around. So, you know, we did turn around quite a few people that were coming and going, but you know, the main thing is that, you know, with community, we know that with any sort of type of PFP project or anything in the crypto space, that the success really does come back to community and the understanding that the community has about the project. So we're all here just to open the doors. We're always down for. Our mods are really friendly as well. They've got a great handle on everything that we're doing. But hopefully you know, we can integrate as well a bit. We're really excited to get our community to come over and check out everything you guys are doing as well. So feel free to pop over and just give us a shout out. We'd love to see you.
Yeah, and anyone of you guys that go over there, just let their community know about KML as well, so we can get more MintLab
Question.
cogs in the market.
Definitely. Yeah, sure. Yep.
With
So
you
that's
guys
assuming
having,
all the guys that have apes.
with you
Huh?
guys having
No.
sandbox avatars,
Sorry.
you guys are planning on sandbox avatars. Do you guys own any land in the sandbox? And if so, do you plan on building on that experiences for holders?
Yeah, so currently not. I actually missed the land sale. I was going to go in pretty heavy on the land sale when it came out, and I missed it, and I'm gutted. So actually, I don't have any yet, but we will be taking a portion of the Ethereum from the minting sale to purchase a decent chunk of land in Sandbox. 100%. We're looking to purchase land in every metaverse that we're going in that we can, and building a space, whether it's a social hub or a bit of game action in there, whatever the community really wants us to do. I kind of envisioned it as a bit of a social hub where we could, you know, hold events or do things in there, or if we want to build in some kind of game function to it. But yeah, definitely like 100% building stuff in the metaverses. There's a question that's come up. Have we bought into the Vault yet? No, not yet. We want to. I asked. We're on a call with Ben and the boys earlier in the week, and I hit Ben up about that, and that's definitely on the cards. If we can get a spot, 100%. I want a spot in the Vault.
Yeah.
Just to let Pete know. So shortly after, maybe a couple weeks after mint, we will you'll be able to mint the cryptid punks in KML.
Yeah.
So you don't need
Sure.
an
I
ape.
wonder. Yeah, I know. I wonder who's building that. Just
Who-
saying.
Isn't that a copy paste speed?
Right. Yeah, no, it's great utility for us, like straight off the bat. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time for us to go through the process and go through the fashion design with our concept artist and the community and build the wearables or design the wearables that the punks will be wearing. And as we're kind of going through that, our sandbox artists will be trailing those wearables. But there's going to be a period of time before we actually get the punks into the first metaverse. So some immediate utility, like 2 weeks after the mint, is absolutely great. There's also like additional utilities, like we mentioned that DAO. There's like a 10% allocation of secondary royalty funds, which just goes to the DAO. It's just DAO funds, and that's basically whatever you guys want us to spend those funds on. We'll do it, provided it's legal and ethical, obviously. And hopefully it's, everyone collectively agrees to spend those funds on something that helps promote the project. So that's another form of utility there as well. Yeah.
Awesome. So
last
I mean,
question. Last question from me, but any high level timelines, even in, it doesn't have to be month, but in quarters or something like that, where the full avatar, not just the head, but the full bodied avatars would be ready for, say.
Yes. So and like it's always difficult giving timelines and specifically like committing to timelines in this space. Like we all know what happens when projects, if they don't kind of make things, people generally aren't happy about it. So I don't want to give like specifics, but to give you an indication, our sandbox artist Loud Gods, this gentleman that makes all these guys, I've had a chat to him about what we're doing, and he's confident that he can get our attributes ready in 2 to 3 weeks. Full time, obviously, and he just works like all of us. He just works crazy hours. So there's a few weeks in getting these guys ready. The actual generation of the script isn't too bad. It's not really too bad to actually generate them. The sandbox. So it's 3 weeks to model these dudes, and then however long the process is to go through that kind of fashion design process. It's not something we'd want to absolutely belt out in a hurry. We want to make sure we get good fashion. And how much time we put into that, I'd estimate maybe somewhere a couple of months, maybe less, maybe a little bit more. So I'd like to say like around a few months after the mint, we'd be in sandbox. And then the next step into Decentraland, nowhere near as long. Fashion designs will be done. We can start building these dudes as we're building Sandbox. It's a different artist, so that can just be happening in the background behind Sandbox. And I was chatting to Ben about, because I was like, when can we get into the Vault? Or when can we all be running around the Vault as cryptid punks? And he was kind of, I think he was saying kind of like mid-year or something, kind of ballpark or something like that, possibly opening the Vault up then. Basically, when the Vault opens, whenever that is, that's on the RFOX side, obviously, we won't be far behind that. If anything, I'd love to be the maiden avatar collection in there. But if we're not, we won't be far behind. We're keen. I'm keen to get them into the Vault.
Yeah,
for sure.
Do Cryptid Punks holders get full ownership rights to do whatever they wish?
Yeah. You go for that, do you?
Yeah, definitely. Full IP to CryptoPunks holders. So yeah, we won't have any restrictions on what you'd like to do with your punk. So feel free to monetize, do whatever you want. This is probably one of the best things because the OG punks had a big issue with their IP, and unfortunately, that's where a lot of their holders are suffering because they're seeing Bored Apes and getting big partnerships and doing some pretty crazy things. So yeah, when we had a look at that situation, it wasn't hard for us to make a decision to say, well, that is the best thing because, the whole thing about, producing a collection that's going to be sustainable is to give it as much, again, come back to that word utility and exposure. And the beautiful thing about you guys having the rights to the IP to do whatever you like is it's just great for the whole project. So there might be a few of you that are quite creative or might maybe just have dreamed about doing something if there was an opportunity, and in you guys doing that, that's just going to bring more attention back to the project. And this is a part of the mechanics of being successful. It's to not just mint and then go, oh, that's great. It's to keep building the brand. And I think brand is a really important sort of scenario to move through. Like if we can create a brand, it's going to be really positive for everything, especially for those that want to innovate and maybe do some stuff on the side, because it'll just give the whole project exposure, which will be really good.
Actually, speaking about that, will holders have access to like the 3D models?
Yeah, that came up in the AMA the other day, and it wasn't even actually on my radar. But I reckon that's an awesome idea. Like, it's kind of like with the IP, we're given full IP rights. Like they were saying, if you can go off and make something of that and commercialize it, and yeah, awesome. And that also helps solidify our brand and like a rising tide lifts all boats. So if we can give out, the 3D files and people can do stuff with that, it's just more exposure and creativity and just growth for the CryptoPunks project in general. I've got 3D resin printers and all of that. I'll be printing these things off and have them sitting all around the house. So yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. There might need to be a little bit of cleaning up to make them, like people want to 3D print them. We might need to maybe modify them slightly for 3D prints and stuff like that. But I'm totally open to
Yeah, I mean,
going through that. Yeah,
I see like a couple holders getting together and maybe creating their own media property with the 3D models.
Yeah,
That would be really interesting.
make a cartoon series or little mini TV show. You could just do anything really if you can get those things moving. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that,
Vault with our instruments and do some crypto 3D band music
Yeah.
and sell that for millions
Or-
and billions and trillions.
There you go.
Gecko,
Yeah.
you take that Project Altered State machine where you get a AI brain and you pop it into your Cryptid Punk 3D avatar and have it run around the vault for you. And
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Possibilities
great.
quite endless.
Seeing that
Yeah,
sort of
so just like FYI, the Vault avatar system uses GLB files as the avatar model.
Okay.
So since while you're at it, if you're working on it and all that, yes, keep in mind it's GLB files. So
Sure.
if you have the avatar in GLB files, feel free to reach out. I'll probably try to get the developers to hook up your sample avatars or whatnot and see maybe I can run around a CryptoPunk in the.
Yeah,
Vault.
awesome. Yeah,
But
cool.
that's
Yeah,
only for me,
good to know.
not for you scrubs out there. Get to it.
I'm gonna throw pineapples at you, Pete.
Yeah, cool.
Sure, come over, man.
Wait.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. I mean, this is really exciting stuff.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of more questions people have as they sort of get a little bit more interested in the project. So, like I said earlier, just reach out to us.
Also, our kind of schedule leading up until those mint day targets is there's plenty of AMAs and voice lounge chats happening and stuff like that. So yeah, plenty of opportunity to come ask questions if you have any questions.
Yeah, apparently a bunch of our guys are already went to your Discord and they say your chat is a bit more active than ours right now.
It has its hotspots. Yeah, Friday later. This is the time that we start to fire off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so thank you guys for coming, and we will let you guys know by Monday what the details are for the whitelist.
Yep.
We got 1,000 of them, so we'll be able to accommodate a good number.
Yeah, we're so glad that that hopefully a lot of you will take up the whitelist and get the opportunity. And for those that don't, you're still more than welcome to to come over and hang out, and we'll get you into the public side as well. There'll be plenty of opportunity there for everyone.
Sure.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks very
Thank
much
you,
for spending your
guys.
time tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys.
First 25 cogs get a whitelist spot.
Oh, shut up. Yeah, so
Hey Pete, you
Hey.
know his address, right? Just eliminate his address from the snapshot, please.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Please.
Oh, what?
So yeah, Gypto and Deviate. Yeah, if, feel free to reach out to me or through Phil if you need any tech. Tech questions regarding to the vault or anything like that. I'll help you out there.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. Definitely, we'll do that for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot. You guys have a great weekend ahead.
Yeah, you too. Cheers.